Yo, what's going on, guys? Achilles. I just want to say I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hope everybody had a great day. Hope everybody's having a great night. Before I start the video, I just want to say shout out to Dev. I was given a message from my boy Dev. He had some uplifting things to say in regards to my last video, and I really appreciate it. And I told him that. I told him I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the positivity. I really appreciate just taking the time to tell me what he told me. He didn't have to do that, and the fact that he took the time to do that, I really respect and appreciate that. So shout out to Dev. Um, Tonight I just wanted to talk about. There's a couple of things I want to talk about, but just mostly in regards to a previous video of I said like new wave oppression or whatever, and also just to talk about creativity and just talk about how powerful creativity is and allowing yourself to be creative. And quite frankly, I believe creativity is my biggest strength in life. I believe that is the biggest strength of my brain. And I am somebody who personally, I'm somebody that personally loves creating. I love creating anything. I love coming up with ideas. It honestly, it feels like I'm blossoming every time. I feel like I just blossom every time I come up with an idea. I feel like I feel as though when I'm creating, I write poems. I write poems. I write raps. I write songs. I write sonnets. I write a lot, and I read. And I like reading too. I enjoy reading a great deal, and I'm probably the only person, probably the only person or only male my age that enjoys reading. Get that from my parents. However, uh, creativity is one of the things that's so chained and kept down, and it's tragic to see people's creativity. You know, it's sad to see people's creativity just be dumbed down and told to think realistic. Thinking realistic, when people think, they say think realistic, that's ultimately one of the most negative ways of putting somebody down. I would not say that to anybody, because what the fuck is what the fuck is being realistic? What the fuck is being realistic? Oh, by the way, this is like my favorite. This is my favorite type of Carmex. It's birthday cake. Probably can't even see it. Just wanted to show you. Yeah, you probably can't see that, but I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to show you this, but I mean, you get the. I mean, look, you get the point. But nah, for real. When you're a kid, when you're a kid, that's, I believe, in my opinion, in terms of your soul and uh, humanity, I believe that's when you're at your peak. And when I say that, I believe that children are powerful and they understand and see things that adults and teenagers may not, because kids are free, and ultimately it's society and their family and their parents that enchain them, that lock them into a box, and in turn just take the fun take the idealism out of their kids, take the creativity out of their kids. To me, creativity, if there is no creativity, there is no life. If there's no creativity, then I don't see a use for life. I don't see a point in life. If there's no creativity, I don't see it. Quite frankly, when you're a kid, I believe, if you can, if I can say this correctly, I believe a kid is the most powerful spiritual being in the world, and the most incarcerated when told certain things that aren't true, being told that this can't happen, that can't happen, and they grow up and be a depressed, miserable fuck, just like their fucking depressed, miserable fuck parents. And so, you know, as a kid, I noticed kids have this sense, and I'll say this about my nephew. There was one night I was upset, and right after my nephew had to go to sleep, and he didn't want to go to sleep. He was like 2 around this time. Next day, I wake up, and he's in my room, and he was like, "Uncle Killy, why are you sad?" I was just like, I was like, I'm fine, bro. Like, I was like, I'm fine, bro. I mean, in reality, I really fucking wasn't. I was depressed as shit. But like, I didn't, I didn't know how to say that to him, and I'm in my head. I'm like, how the fuck, like, like, how the fuck did you like know that? And you know that was hilarious to me because I still look back at that. I still look back and I just think to myself like, yo, he really knew that I was, you know, I was upset. And obviously he doesn't, you know, kids are gonna know the small words like sad. I don't think he knows depressed. And I didn't know how to explain it to him. And if I did, and he started giving me a speech, I'd be kind of scared. I'd be really like kind of fucking scared. But you know, kids are at a free stage when they're little and they're happy and they have no responsibilities. And ultimately, I believe kids are powerful with having that sense, having that intuition that we can't understand. When I say we, I mean adolescents, adults, especially when you are not truly spiritual, when you're not truly in tune with yourself, when you're not truly in tune with the yearn for freedom. And with kids, also, you know, their mind is endless. I believe creativity, as when you want to be creative, just think about a kid. Think about how a kid is. That's how creativity has to be. Free, just carefree, whatever you want, and just endless imagination. And that's what it should be. And I believe kids are just like the poster boy or just the forefront of creativity, how creativity should be. And it's unfortunate because I believe we are all artists. I believe everybody is an artist. And I think I saw a quote one time that said, we're all artists. Everybody's born an artist until society and their parents and adults beat it out of them. And you know that's a deep quote. That is a highly deep quote. I look back. I just look back, and I mean, even now, feeling this, I observe what I was told as as growing up from elementary to middle school to high school. You know, I just thinking about how they say like, oh well, you know, you want to be a basketball player, you want to be a football player, or actor, or singer, you know, that's like hard. That's a 1% type thing, and like you should be more realistic. What the fuck is more real? Like I just want to what the fuck is more realistic? Like because if this, in my eyes, if this shit exists, it's fucking realistic. Like it's fucking realistic. If the shit exists, if someone has done this and someone else and someone else and so it's fucking realistic, asshole. Like it's fucking realistic. And I don't understand why people try to tell people, "Oh, that's not realistic. Think real." What the fuck is real? Being miserable like you, being a miserable fucking teacher with a bunch of disrespectful fucking kids and shit? Like what the fuck is that? Being a depressed, I don't know, accountant? Like I don't fucking know. There's there's nothing in this world, in my eyes, there is nothing in this world that is not realistic. Everything is here for a reason. Everything is here for a reason. And if you work for it, you can be that. If you work, if you put in the time to study, if you put in the time to work smart, work hard, then you can do it. I don't understand. It's not like you're not just No one's just born a celebrity. No one is born a celebrity. No one's born a fucking famous athlete. Everybody put in work. Regardless, everyone put in the fucking work. I don't understand that shit. Just think realistic. That has always angered me. That's always angered me. I've hated that term a great deal. I've always hated that term. And I'm just somebody who thinks freely. I'm somebody who thinks deep. But that's something I've always held a massive just a massive disdain for it. I've just held a massive disdain for it, honestly. And creativity, I just believe that in this world, it's difficult being creative. It's difficult being creative because it's the reason it's difficult being creative is due to the fact that creativity is free, but people want chains. People want creativity to be chained, but people want it. The mass wants creativity to be confined to what they want it to be. You can be an artist. You can be any type of musician, any type of director. Eventually, if you make it and you create something beautiful, it's a demand. Now it's a demand. It's like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And then you have another spectrum of people that will want you to shut the fuck up and maybe not say this or that. Even though I believe artists, oh my God, this is on me. Sorry. Um, Even though I believe that artists are the main people who keep the world going, I believe art keeps the world going. Creativity, art, they keep the world going. And yo, can this like get the fuck out of here? Oh my God, like, but anywho, art, creativity keep the world going. Those things always keep the world going. Creativity is hope. Creativity is real. That's real, in my opinion. Being realistic is being creative. If you're not being creative, you're not living. If you're not using your mind, if you're not thinking forwards, if you're not thinking backwards in terms of going forward, then you're not living. And creativity is what helps us go. Anybody who is just miserable and tries to dumb down or silence creativity is ultimately a reckoning towards true growth. Ultimately, the error towards growth, and ultimately more so, just the enemy of true human potential and true potential for your soul and potential, true honest potential for growth. The beauty of it, the beauty of being a seed to a beautiful rose. And you can't silence creativity. You can't tell somebody what to do with their creativity. You just have to be thankful for what they do for that creativity. You have to be thankful for what you're given from that artist, from said whoever who gives you masterpiece, who gives you realistic creations. Realistic creation is just what was once in the mind that has been given for the eyes. That's pretty much the beauty of it is creativity comes from the mind for the eyes and ears. And that's beautiful. And what was in the mind that was given for the eyes, ears, and the mind. There's always something to think about when you have the creations. You always think that these are beautiful, these are amazing. Everybody takes every sort of art in their own way, and art is the same, but it's different. It's in different forms, but art is ultimately the same because art is beautiful. And quite frankly, everybody has their own love for every different form of art, but all art is beautiful art. Somebody likes it. Somebody it's art. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece of somebody. And when you look at creativity, when you realize what power creativity has, you feel you honestly feel as though you're unstoppable. You honestly feel like you bring life to life. And creativity is so many things, but one of them is life. Creativity is life. With no creativity, there is no life. There is nothing without creativity. And you always have to seek out your own creativity and never let anybody put fear into your creativity, because if anybody puts fear into your heart and your mind, you're not living your life. You're living somebody's fear. And living through somebody's fear ultimately is living through your own depression and hell. And always find it in you to never let anybody's toxic fear, ways of dumbing you down or whatever, to be quote unquote realistic. Never let chained minds enslave free thoughts. Never. Never let chained minds enslave free thoughts, for your free thoughts to be chained, and then that creates a cycle throughout everybody. Chained and feared minds ultimately lead to no progress, no growth, furthermore, no joy. No joy, euphoria within life that we should seek and find. No evolution. And that's what I have to say about that. Other thing I want to talk about. Other thing I wanted to talk about was in one of the previous videos I created, spoke about New World oppression, and I want to go more into that. There's a lot of people that believe that this generation is supposed to save the world, or whatever the fuck. This generation is supposed to be the new, create something new. And in my own opinion, my honest opinion, I don't believe much of I don't believe much in this generation. And I say that because there are things that the new generation does that's similar to cycles that have been repeated throughout life, throughout the beginning of time. I believe this era is scary due to the fact that you truly cannot have an opinion, you truly cannot have a humor, you cannot have something that does not fall in line with society or the status quo, whatever the fuck. I'm a huge, I'm someone with a huge dislike for cancel culture. I'm somebody with a huge dislike for anybody willing to cut somebody off because of political or religious beliefs. That is asinine. That is sincerely fucked up. That's sincerely fucked up to cut anybody off due to those beliefs. And I still see it today. And you have to realize that when we have this quote unquote new world consciousness, I call that new world oppression, because the fact of the matter is no one is handling things how they should be. Everybody says that they want change, right? Say that they want change. However, they put change in one area. and there's one way that they want to change, and you have to agree that it's this way. There is no falling in the middle. There's no being away from the fucking whatever they're in. And quite frankly, the ones who fall in the middle with free thought and a right thought that really is not wrong at all is the one that gets silenced the most. And you have to notice that with this new world oppression is that you're going to be silenced for having a free thought. And free thinking is so silenced. Society's fear is a free thinker. Society's biggest fear is a free thinker. And furthermore with that, there's a side that believes that they're right. There is a side that believes they are right. They want change. They're quote unquote activists who do nothing except act on emotion. Many things have no logic with them today. That's the problem with today, is that there is no logic. There's no true logic with many things. There are people that act upon emotion. There's people that act upon emotion, act upon the strong, intense hatred that they have built up in them, yet want love and equality. But you're so filled with hate and so filled with just one view of how you want things, but you're not open to listening to the other side. We have sides in life, and ultimately people believe one side, right and wrong. They believe their side is right, they believe other side is wrong, vice versa. But there's no sense of understanding. The problem is that nobody wants to empathize. Nobody wants to understand where others are coming from. That's the issue, is that nobody truly wants to understand. Nobody is down to listen to what somebody has to say, understanding what they have to say. Nobody is down to actually read. Nobody is down. We live in an info fucking era. You would think with all the fucking technology, all the computers, all the smartphones and shit, that we have information right at our fingertips. I could end this video and look up whatever the fuck I want. All this information, and people are still blinded by one article title, one video, one little part of a in 1 hour, 30 minute, whatever the fuck video, and act upon the emotion react upon emotion, strong negative emotion at that. Nobody truly takes the time to actually think. Everybody just reacts. A strong, quick reaction without thought. A strong, quick reaction without thought is the downfall. Is going to be the downfall of this generation. Strong emotion reactions with no sense of thought and patience ultimately will lead to more destruction. It will not lead to any growth of the mind. It will lead to no love of the heart and the soul. There is going to be hatred in many hearts by people who think they are doing what's right in the sense of love. There are those who believe that what they are doing is right by not truly even attempting to understand or empathize with others. It is either you're with us or you're not. You're either on our side or not. There's no middle ground. There is none of that. And quite frankly, it's it's monstrous. It's disturbing. It's truly disturbing to see this level of toxicness. That if you're just not on our side, then fuck you. But it makes me realize that people are so fucking stupid, and people are not willing to understand. People are not willing to do more research and take the time. Everybody is acting upon emotion and dick riding, and nobody is truly putting in the work to be the next revolutionary. Nobody reads, nobody truly does research day in and day out. Everybody wants to rely on celebrities, fucking basketball players, football players, actors and actresses. And that's so lazy. That is entirely lazy. And it just shows you that we're fucked. It just shows you that we're fucked. Because eventually, those people with money, it's rare to find somebody with a lot of money willing to sell out for a lot more money. It's rare to find people that will sell out for a big loss of money or a big money opportunity to sell out for that in terms of what they find is right in their heart. Nobody's willing to be the black sheep. Nobody is willing to be the lone wolf and be different. Everyone in this is the dick riding era. We live in a dick riding era. I'm not gonna lie. We truly live in a dick riding era. And some people just dick ride out of fear. Honestly, some people just, quite frankly, some people just dick ride out of fear. And nobody truly has their own opinions, and it's disturbing. It's highly disturbing. I'm not quite sure what the future holds. I'm not quite sure what's next. I'm not sure what's going to happen with all of us. Only thing I can do is talk to the universe, meditate, drink some water, read, and continue to better my mind and soul. But just know this. Until if we're not if humans, if the souls living this human experience are not willing to empathize, understand, listen, take in with logic and not emotion, if we're not willing to do that, we're fucked. We're fucked. That's that. But that's what I say. I hope everybody has a great night. Hope everybody had a great weekend. New week starts. I believe it's 12 now, so new week starts now. Everybody, please take care of yourself. Work out, read, listen to music, watch some videos, listen to some ambient sounds. Uh, I like listening to horror stories. I love listening to horror stories. I like horror. I like horror things. But everybody, please take care of yourself. Everybody have a great night. Have a great, peaceful sleep. And it's one of the things I said that I will always say. Drink some water.